Hello, fellow retro enthusiasts. Um, I have here a Game Boy macro. And what a macro is a DS Lite that has had the top part of the clamshell removed with the top screen removed. And what we're left with is a system that can play Game Boy Advance games and has a very pocketable format. And I really do like these 3D printed faceplates for the macro. However, I've had some issues. I don't know if you guys can see this right here. We get to focus, probably not. But there is cracking around here, and I've had some alignment issues with the shell. So it just the faceplate just did not line up perfectly. And that's mainly because I'm new to 3D printing and it's just something I haven't mastered yet. But there is a company out there called Boxy Pixel. Yeah, get that in there somewhere. And Boxy Pixel, they have aluminum components that you can get for your different systems. So they've got the Game Boy SP Unhinged, and you can get the Joy-Cons for the Switch. One of the things I'm mainly interested in is the faceplate for this. So what I wanted to do is, I wanted to do an unboxing video. I've never done one of these before, so I want to go ahead and give this a go. So let us dig into this and see what we can get into. Okay, so very simple white box. Okay. And this is something similar to what I was considering doing with shipping out my refurbished products. Okay, so it's just a basic white shipping box. And then we've got some of this cut paper. Set this out of the way. And then here's your Boxy Pixel logo. I guess the camera's down here. And then we've got, check that out. I don't know if you can see it. Game Boy macro lens. And this is the piece de resistance, or however the hell you want to say it. I don't know what that means, if I'm honest. But this is our Boxy Pixel faceplate for our Game Boy macro. So I'll go ahead and get her open. I'm not going to be doing this mod for a couple days because I do want to order a Helder amp, because I forgot to do that when I ordered this last week. And the Helder amp will allow us, and the reason I didn't order the amp is because I'm also missing a speaker that would normally go right here. And as you can see, there's no speaker cutout because what we're doing is, you probably can't see. Let's get a flashlight here for you. Oh, goodness gracious, that's bright. But anyway, you can see it now. There's a speaker in there, and that's just using the standard, one of the standard DS speakers. And that is not providing enough audio. Now, what some people will do is they'll put iPhone speakers in there. But again, I really wasn't sold on this overall. I still want a 3D printed shell. Helder does do 3D printed shells, but Helder has not been offering them lately. This is actually based off of Helder's design, from what I can tell, because I did just get this off Thingiverse. But this shell, this faceplate, is done in a dual layer, and what that does is it creates an opportunity for it to become misaligned. So that's why I wanted this, and I also wanted to give it that clean aesthetic. So I've got a matte black rear shell, and as you can see, it's kind of a direct replacement for this is the lens for the top. So the lens from the top of the clamshell goes into here. And I apologize for the background noise. In the future, I'll make sure to mute it. It's been a while since I've done anything like this. So we've got screws that come specifically for the Boxy Pixel kit because it is aluminum. And that is a hell of a lot lighter than I expected. I was expecting this whole bit to be kind of heavy because, I don't know if you can hear that. I can't get it in frame. I'm tapping on it. But anyway, that's aluminum. That's straight up aluminum. And what I like is this also, if you look at the faceplate here, it eliminates the two buttons you're not going to use. So since you can't really do Super Nintendo emulation very well using the DS Lite, especially considering you're missing the top screen, and by putting the speaker in there, we also removed the cartridge slot. But again, the whole point of this is to have a super slim, pocketable Game Boy Advance that's kind of unique, that nobody's, you're not seeing many people run around the street with it. So what we do here is we're going to fill this little hole right here with some hot glue and then run her flat, and it creates like a little opaque window. And then we'll replace this with this and then drop in our lens. And then we're using the LCD from the bottom part of the Game Boy Advance, or rather the Game Boy SP, to create this this Game Boy macro. So this is just a little bit of an unboxing. Again, this is the Boxy Pixel. And I guess I held it up backwards last time. Anyway, this is the Boxy Pixel Game Boy Macro faceplate. So we're going to fire this up probably in the next couple days, or rather next couple weeks, because I do have to get the Helder amp in, and I also need the Nintendo Switch speaker in order to complete this project. But I'm really looking forward to this. But just a little bit of a teaser. I've got another thing that I got. So I got another thing in the mail today, and sadly it's my mistake. So I'll have an updated video on what else is coming in, but just a little bit of a treat here. This is the Ambernick RG350M. So this is like one of their earlier releases that does have a 640 display, and I mean it's pretty cool. Like, and if you look here, they're very similar. But what I have coming that I'm supposed to have gotten is the 280, and the 280 is actually smaller than this. It's about the size of an old, like a little bit larger than a candy bar style phone, like think original second gen iPhone. So it's going to be about that size. And it will have the ability to play Super Nintendo games. So I'm looking for something like super portable emulation. So that's what I did order, and they sent me this. But anyway, as you can see, they're very similar in size. Difference is you're emulating. It's really missing the true experience. Whereas here, you are genuinely getting a Game Boy Advance experience. So as you see here, this lens and the positioning of the screen will compensate for that extra black space there. So let me Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. I am using an EverDrive here, but I do have the Advance on a shelf over there. So I do encourage you guys to play on actual hardware. I prefer the EverDrives because it loads it up into the RAM and is supposed to play off the system. But if I want to have that genuine experience, well, that light's just getting in the way, isn't it? But I can always just fire up Final Fantasy Tactics on the hardware. Whereas this guy here, it's emulated. There is some, you got to mess around with it a little bit. And it's not irreplaceable. I mean, these aren't irreplaceable either, but there's a certain nostalgia to that, and you want to preserve that. This one had a busted top screen, so that's why it was converted, because it was not functioning originally. Whereas this, you can buy the smaller version that I'll have coming, the 280, for about $80. These are running about 130 because they've got like the HDMI out, but you're losing that raw experience. Anyway, we're getting a little bit lengthy with this, so I will get back to you guys in a couple of days with what I end up doing, a couple of weeks rather, when this is finished, and hopefully have a better quality video. I did switch cameras. This is an old webcam that I had. It was an old streamer webcam. It's the C922. I don't think that's any better than the Galaxy S6 that was used to record that Game Boy Pocket video. So I'm going to be playing around a little bit and see what I can do. I really don't want to move my good camera back and forth, my G7. It's just kind of a pain, and every time you move it, it's risk of dropping it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this bit of an unboxing and kind of explanation and rundown of what we're going to be doing. And if there's any other content that you would like to see, let me know. You know, we've got some of this type stuff that we've been doing. Got some Game Boy colors there. This is just a shell. This is a completed unit. So just finished this up. You know, this is part of the Retro Renew, where, you know, we refurbish units and try to make some money to fund projects like this. So if you're interested in getting your hands on something, you know, retro handheld product, or, you know, reshelled, or you just want to add an IPS screen to something, let me know. But anyway, I'll see you guys here in a couple weeks. Yeah.